Scott, thank you for joining us. That's a terrific afternoon here and a perfect way to start the new year. Can I get your reflection on the game first?
Yeah, it was obviously really pleased with the result. Excuse me, my voice has really gone. We played differently today in the way that we pressed. We didn't jump our wide players onto their outside centre halves like we normally do, because we were worried about their strength in the wide areas with Hutton and Tyree Shade on the other side, and we didn't want to leave kind of Joy and Harry exposed to that. So our wing backs in Darcy and Nick Cerula defended down the pitch, which kind of give them more of the ball, and we blocked up, and it was just a different tactic today that I felt was needed, and I thought the game plan was perfect, and I thought the execution of the game plan was even better. I thought the players did it brilliantly.
Yeah.
So obviously really pleased.
Yeah, great execution of the game plan, and massive credit to some of the players that came in today. We'll talk a little bit about sort of Rolls' involvement a little bit later on, but the likes of Joy, Harry's who's come in the last few games, obviously Corey's earned his place back. They all put in great performances today, didn't they?
Yeah, they were very good. Listen, Joy's come up against a very, very experienced striker in Charlie Austin today, and felt later on in the game that Charlie started peeling on that side, and I thought Joy did it. Defended him brilliantly, and of course he was very calm in possession as well. It was a good game for him. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the boys who come in and played.
Yeah, and obviously we will now move on to Rosie. He played a massive part in the first goal, and getting the ball to very calm and getting the ball to Darcy, who played it against Dorsey, and then obviously a fantastic strike for the second goal as well. You must be so pleased. We spoke a lot about Jack in the last few weeks and how he's had to wait for his chance, and he's really taken it with both hands, hasn't he? He's done brilliant.
He has. He's had to be patient. We've kept working with him on the training ground, and I thought he did his job brilliantly well today. Even from a defensive point of view as well, in terms of executing the game plan of what was needed from him was perfect. And of course, his attacking bits and pieces that he done was brilliant, and great goal. Great goal, and obviously his involvement in the whole game. I thought he was very, very good today. He tired towards the end, which is why we brought him off.
We spoke after Friday about us in front of goal and how we needed to be a little bit more clinical. We certainly were today. Dan Horsey being one of those great strikers, performance from him. He's there at the right time to tap in from a couple of yards out, and then perfectly executes a rebound. So your message must have got through to him, really.
Yeah, I actually thought from the kick-off he got in and thought he should have shot. I don't know if you remember the actual kick-off. We do a set way of trying to get us in real early on in the game, and I felt he should have shot. And he looked round at me, even just a minute in, and I'm having a go at him for not pulling the trigger then, and he must have learned from that. But no, he was brilliant today, run his socks off, and again, another player that got the game plan perfect.
Yeah, and defensively, obviously, it would have been nice to keep the clean sheet, obviously conceding late on, but he seemed a lot more calm and a lot more sort of, I'm not sure what the right word is to describe it, because obviously it's hard to say this when you do concede such a late goal, but was that disappointing for you, or were you pleased with the overall performance?
I was obviously pleased with the overall performance, because I thought that we worked extremely hard yesterday on the game plan, and again this morning, because driving in this morning I wasn't sure on one thing, and we changed something and it worked perfectly, and the players executed brilliantly. Of course, I'm disappointed to concede, so late on. You want to try and come out of there with another clean sheet. But listen, the boys were brilliant today. Like I say, they got the game plan spot on, and I don't think it was a great spectacle in terms of us having loads of passes and controlling and dominating the game. I felt that we surrendered a lot of ground from our game plan, but it kind of didn't matter. They didn't really hurt us with it in my eyes. So in my opinion, I thought that the game plan was needed.
In terms of what we spoke about from the Friday game against MK Dons to now, do you think that we executed everything perfectly? Because we spoke about how we weren't far off in the MK Dons game. All we didn't do was score, and it was pleasing to see, I suppose, that the lads took a lot of that into the game today, and it worked.
It was a different game. It was a different game. I thought we really dominated the ball at MK and got into some brilliant areas and didn't really hurt the opposition that well. But today was different, a different game. We didn't dominate the ball as much, but we got the game plan spot on in terms of our defensive shape. Our rest defence was brilliant, and but we took our chances when it was called upon, and really, really proud of the players.
Thank you.
Yes. Scott, we've talked a lot recently about how you picked up points when you're not playing particularly well, and you haven't got the results you deserve when you have played well. Today, it seemed to have all come together. You played well and got the result you deserved. How satisfying is that?
Really satisfying, yeah, thank you. But yeah, very satisfying. Obviously, we always go after performances. I don't think that we, I don't know what the possession stats would be. I would dare say that it would probably be in their favour, which I don't like that. But I felt it was needed for today's game. I felt that if we didn't be as aggressive in terms of our press, and like I say, it was a different game plan in terms of my wide players. I didn't want to press their outside centre halves. I wanted them to stay with their wing backs because it would protect our outside centre halves. And we just kind of pressed from the middle of the pitch as opposed to outside of the pitch. And it was just different, and it just allowed them to have a little bit more of the ball. But like I say, it didn't bother me because they didn't really hurt us with it anyway. And I felt that the players executed the game plan perfect.
Yeah, there was a moment in the first half. I think it was Dion passed to Corey. Corey put it out to Jay, and it was a bit tense. And Jay turned the two attackers. You turned round and clapped at the crowd. What was the reason for that?
I just thought it was a brilliant action, and
yeah.
It was a lot of people would look at that as a heart in mouth situation, whereas I want the fans to embrace them moments because it's fantastic football. And whilst a lot of people will think it is heart in mouth, it's actually quite planned quite well, and I thought that it worked perfectly, that action, and I quite like it.
Yeah, and how important was it to have Jay Williams back in that midfield? He adds a bit of skill, doesn't he, to that midfield?
I thought he was brilliant today. Listen, Kemp, who he was up against, I literally, said to him, I want you to man for man mark Kemp. Wherever he goes, you go with him. If he comes off the pitch, you follow him off. And he's one of the better kind of number 10s in the division, isn't he? He's been unbelievable for Swindon. And I thought Jay marked him out the game. I thought he had him. There was one action in the first half where he lost him and he nearly got in and he fluffed his lines, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was the only time he kind of got free of Jay. Apart from that, Jay was brilliant.
Yeah. And Danilo also got 11 goals now, I think, in the league, 13 altogether in all competitions. I mean, how impressed have you been with him, how he's settled into this team?
He's been outstanding, He's a great lad. I absolutely love working with him. Top lad. Works his socks off, and I'm pleased he's got these goals that he's got because the work ethic that he puts in. He was really disappointed after the MK game that he hadn't done better in front of goal, and he looked a bit down about it, so we spoke about it and he was fine, and obviously he's come back with that today, so I'm really pleased for Dan. Brilliant.
And I think you said after the MK Dons game, we're still in a good place. I mean, today you're 3 points off the playoffs, starting the new year there. I mean, you can be in a better place, could you, other than obviously.
Yeah. No, we're really pleased about where we are. We just got to keep in touch with it, and we've got a couple of really tough months now. The teams that we play, I think it's going to be tough, but I really back my players to get results on the road as well as here. So. No, I think we're in a good position. And
transfer window's open. Can we expect any action soon?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't say soon, but I think there will be action. I think that we are looking to probably add to what we've got. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott. Well done.
Cheers.